hard, tough economic times, certainly. New at 5, an iconic Atlanta restaurant that prides itself on affordable prices, now having to raise them as a last-ditch effort to fight inflation.
Yeah, they sure do. Manuel's Tavern in Ponce Highland tells Atlanta News First they've been draining their savings to avoid the hike, but now they're backed into a corner.
Atlanta News First reporter Adam Murphy, he's live from Manuel's Tavern. And Adam, Manuel's, they've been open for more than 50 years. This is where politicians go to talk shop. I mean, anyone who comes to Atlanta knows about this tavern.
Tracy, Manuel's is an Atlanta institution where people love to come and grab a burger, a beer, and talk politics, like you said. But owner Brian Maloof, whose father, Manuel Maloof, opened this tavern, says he pulled 60 grand out of his personal savings to stay afloat rather than raise prices recently. And even that wasn't enough. Since 1956, not much has changed at the iconic Manuel's Tavern in Atlanta. Known for stiff drinks, large food portions, and below-average prices, management said they had no choice but to break tradition this week.
It looks like completed yesterday. The across-the-board increase was 6.25%.
Brian Maloof is the owner of Manuel's Tavern and said rising inflation forced him to raise prices just to stay.
Listening to the news, listening to the powers that be, they kept saying it was transitory, it was going to be transitory, and I wanted to believe. I had some skepticism, but I wanted to believe. These are the people in charge, and they're telling you that this isn't going to turn into a recession. You know, it's not going to be an inflation nightmare.
During the past several months, it has become a nightmare financially for Maloof. He said goods and services have increased dramatically.
The service call on a refrigeration repair went from $75 to show up to $125.
It's putting a financial strain on most restaurants in Georgia. The Georgia Restaurant Association said many are hanging on by a thread. Restaurant food prices have been outpacing grocery store costs. If you dine out, menu prices are up by nearly 9%. The reason is simple. Food prices for restaurants are up nearly 19%, and labor costs up by 11%.
It's like $11.95 for a quesadilla. I have paid well above $15, $16 for the same sandwich at other places.
Our hope is that we could eat the cost if it was transitory and not be a burden to our customers as another place that was adding inflationary pressure to their pocketbook.
Now, Maloof wanted his customers to know that this is not about padding his pockets. It's about ensuring their future survival, and raising prices is his last-ditch effort. I can tell you, I looked at the menu a few minutes ago, and for a hamburger and fries, it's now $13.95. That's only up a couple of bucks, so not much of an increase, but they wanted to make sure people understood this is the last shot for them to stay afloat. We're live here in Atlanta. Adam Murphy, Atlanta News First.
Hopefully they can, Adam. Sure.